What's going on, YouTube? Welcome to another episode of Unfiltered Opinion. My name is Jason, and let's get right into the video. So today's video topic is related to driving pet peeves and why some motherfuckers on the streets should not have a driver's license. And I will admit, and as a disclaimer, that I used to be guilty of some of these driving habits, but not anymore because I knew that I'll be a hypocrite if I made this video and right after I publish this video and upload it to YouTube, that if I did those same things that I discuss now, that I would feel like a dick. Anyway, so I know that New York, from the recent trips that I've been to New York, that New Yorkers are notorious for being, how to put this lightly, they can be assholes when they drive. It's plain and simple. New Yorkers can be assholes when they drive. And on the flip side, when I see footage of people driving in California, and more specifically in San Francisco, bruh, it's like those motherfuckers have never driven on a highway before. It's almost as if they just got their blue card, or not even their blue card, that they just got their, they just got their permit, they got the provisional license, and those motherfuckers don't know how to drive. And this is also experience from the last time I've been in California. I mean, granted, it's been years ago since I've been in California, but the last time I was on a California highway, specifically San Francisco, bruh. Like, did you get your fucking license out of a cereal box? Anyway, I know I'm gonna get a lot of flack from viewers saying, "Ew, but that's not how people drive, you know. Are you any better of a driver?" I have a feeling I'm gonna get a lot of flack for that shit. Anyway, yeah, so these are the type of drivers, in my opinion, that should never, ever should have gotten their license in the first place. The number one driving pet peeve and the number one person who should have never gotten their motherfucking license in the first place are people who don't use their goddamn turn signal. Do you know how many times I have been in accidents as a solo driver and with passengers in my car where I had to stop, I had to abruptly hit the motherfucking brakes because people didn't use their fucking turn signal. And this instance happened about, I want to say, a week and a half ago. I was driving to my local Target, and for this local Target, there's a traffic light. And the Target is on the right-hand side. So for me, I lied. Okay, no, I lied. This wasn't, okay, so now I'm trying to remember correctly. Scratch all that. I was not on my way to Target. I was on my way, I don't remember where I was on my way to. Anyway, I was driving behind this person, and apparently they were heading into the Target, which was on the right-hand side, and there was a traffic signal. And for some reason, the person ahead of me was slowing down with no indication of turning into the Target store. So I'm like, why is this person driving so fucking slow? And it turns out, without signaling that they were gonna turn, by clicking on their right-hand turn signal, they just said, "Oh, I'm better than everyone else. Let me just slow traffic down, not indicate with my right turn signal that I'm going into that target. Ooh. Ooh, excuse me. Wow. Yeah, so I wanted to strangle that motherfucker. Because A, I almost hit that guy's bumper if I hadn't abruptly hit my brakes. And seriously, for all the people who do not use their turn signals, how fucking hard is it, or how lazy can you be, that regardless of which hand you drive with, whether it's your left, or whether it's your right hand, but especially if you're driving with your left hand, all the cars that I've been in, all the cars that I've driven, the turn signal when you're driving with your left hand, it is not even centimeters away from the steering wheel. So to put this into perspective, if you're driving with your left hand, how lazy do you have to be in order for you to just shift the position of your hand on the steering wheel and just click, clack, click, clack, regardless of which direction you're turning, either left or right? It is literally a simple click, clack. How hard is it for motherfuckers to use their fucking turn signal? Like, Jesus Christ. And another huge pet peeve of mine is when I'm driving on the highway, if there is a certain speed that is posted on either side of the highway, or if there is a certain speed with the flow of traffic, and you're in a certain lane, and there is no car ahead of you, or there is no obstructing object ahead of you, why are you driving like a fucking snail? Seriously. So for example, if you're driving on a highway or on a freeway that has a sign or a speed limit, for example, 65 miles an hour or 55, whatever. Okay, let's say it's 55. Let's say it's 55 miles an hour, but the flow of traffic is maybe 65 to 70. Why are there people driving on the highway under 55, 45, or 50 miles per hour? Follow the flow of traffic, or at least the speed limit that is posted on the side of the highway. Do you want the front of my bumper to tap your rear bumper? Do you want the crotch of my car to grind up on the ass of your bumper? I don't think so. So either drive the flow of the speed of traffic, or just, well, at least for the love of God, drive the speed limit posted on the highway or the freeway. Jesus Christ. And also, this is more of a caution or more of a danger rather than a pet peeve. I see not so many people. There are a specific number of drivers that I see on the road, especially on the freeway, on the highway, that if it's, usually I see this on a 4 or 5 lane highway, I see motherfuckers just going whoop, whoop, whoop. They're dashing they're dashing in and out of the highway, just going like this. No turn signal, no nothing. I'm like, are you purposely trying to evade the cops, or do you have a bomb in your car that's about to detonate, and you're just going to go boom at any second? Like, seriously, what is going on? Ah, my nose is running. Oh, Jesus. Anyway. And if you're going to be that, like, if you're gonna be that reckless on the highway, at least use your turn signal. Seriously. Because your driving pattern and behavior, yeah, it's sporadic as fuck. But at least give us a heads up about that. Oh, also, a couple more pet peeves. Two more pet peeves. One other pet peeve I have it. Well, actually, no, I lied. 3. This just goes to show you how terrible some people are driving. When you are driving, regardless if it is a local road, freeway, highway, or off a cliff, I don't fucking care. Please, for the love of God, do not text and drive. And this is in relation to people who are driving at a slower speed that is posted either on the highway, freeway, or the local road. Sometimes when I see people who are driving slower than the speed limit or slower on the flow of traffic, and I want to see who the culprit is, half the time, the culprit is someone who is looking down at their lap while their fingers are going on their phone. Seriously, people who do that, get the fuck off your phone and drive like a normal human being so that way, A, you don't injure other people, and B, I honestly don't give a fuck if you die from texting and driving, because that was your choice. But please do not put other people in peril because you were negligent to not look at the road while you were fucking driving, and you thought it was more important to answer text, probably from your side chick, I don't know who the fuck you're texting. That shit can wait. Especially if it's your side chick. That woman can wait. I'm not gonna say the B word because I don't want to denigrate any woman, but just if it's a side chick, then just reply to that woman after you've, I don't know, turned into the next target without your turn signal. Jesus. But that really fucking pisses me off. Cause you purposely chose to endanger not only your life, but more importantly the lives of other people. People who had no business of being injured by motherfuckers like you who text and drive. Or people like you that drive. And yes, quick disclaimer. I have been guilty of doing that myself. However, I would not go to the extent of actually having my phone in my hand, in my lap, and going tick, 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 tick. Because I knew how dangerous it would be, and I have heard how much, and I've heard from friends of mine who have been fined for texting and driving. And the amount is so exorbitant, I do not even want to think about it. And yes, I know it depends on the neighborhood and the region that you live in, but still, the minimum can be anywhere from $200, and the fine that my friend received was $500 fucking dollars. Not only did he have to pay the fine, but he had points on his license afterward, and he had to pay for a defensive driving course. And that shit was almost $1,000 in total. For the defensive driving course that he had to pay for, the fine that he had to pay, and also the surcharge on the points. Yeah, I'm not trying to pay $1,000 just cause I'm going tick 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 on my phone. That's when I completely stopped, and that was a couple of years ago. I heard that story, I'm like, Fuck that. My bank account and my driving record does not need to suffer that blunder just to sacrifice a couple of minutes while tapping on a glass display while I'm driving a 2,000-pound metal box with 4 wheels and an engine that could kill someone or something or damage myself. No, fuck that. And also, if you do receive a text message, regardless of the level of urgency, for the love of fucking God, please, for the safety of not only yourself but for others, if you receive a text message, pull off to the side of the road where you know that you can safely park your car, where it's stationary, and then reply to that text message. Or if it's, I don't care if it's a text, I don't care if it's a DM from your side chick, I don't care who the fuck the recipient is, or the sender, I don't give a fuck who the sender is. Please, for the love of God, to save yourself money and to save your life and others, please, pull off to the side of the road, park your car where it's stationary, and reply to the text. Do not do it while you're in a moving vehicle, especially if you're the driver. If you're the passenger, go all out since you're not driving. But especially if you are the one operating the vehicle, please do not text and drive. It is so fucking dangerous. Anyway, the second to last pet peeve is when you're at a traffic stop. The light is red and it just turns green, and motherfuckers behind you have the audacity to honk their horn like they have somewhere more important to go than you do. Like, motherfucker, listen. I don't know who you are, and quite frankly, I don't give a fuck who you are. If you think you're more important than me or everyone else, that you have the urgency to honk your horn as soon as the light turns green, go fuck yourself. Oh, also, this piggybacks over to my last point about texting. I understand that some people's reaction times are a little bit different than others, and granted, if the light just turns green, give the person a couple of seconds to react to it. You don't have to immediately go as soon as the light turns green and no one's moving. But if it's after maybe like 5 or 6 seconds, then sure, give a little light honk, like a little burp, burp, burp. Like just one time, just to alert the person at the very front of the traffic signal to signal them to go. If it's after like 5 seconds, then okay, then give a little quick burp just to alert them. But you don't have to go. You don't have to do that shit. It's so fucking unnecessary. However, if it's after, okay, my golden rule is if it's after 6 or more seconds, because after 6 seconds, that motherfucker in the driver's seat is clearly doing something. And like I said before, sometimes sometimes their delayed reaction when I see what they're doing is they're texting and fucking driving. I understand that if you're trying to check a message as soon as the light turns red, but seriously, dude or dudette, look up at the traffic signal to see what color the fucking light is, so that way you don't piss people off when you're sending a 2-paragraph essay to someone and you are holding up 5 or more cars behind you. Seriously. If you are delaying the traffic for 6+ seconds at a traffic light because you didn't look up periodically to look up your fucking phone at what the color of the light was, you have a special place in hell to be reserved in. Seriously. And my last driving pet peeve. This shit really pissed me the fuck off. Because it showed... Because it chiseled away a small piece of my faith left in humanity. This really fucking pissed me off. And God forbid that it happens to any of you guys. And God forbid if I ever cross paths with this motherfucker ever again. I'm not gonna name any names. This was back when I was in my second to last semester of college. I got ready to go to my car to go to class. And granted, I had to get up really early because I had moved from my previous address, which class was only 10 minutes away. The nearest campus was 10 minutes away. The furthest campus was about maybe 15-20 minutes at most. However, I moved, and therefore my commute, if I drove a little fast and a little crazy, I could get there in maybe 40-45 minutes, depending on the congestion on the freeway or the highway. Anyway, I am about, I want to say 10 minutes. Yeah, I was 10 minutes into my drive. And I still had another 10 minutes to drive before I actually got onto the freeway and the highway. The specific road that I was driving on, it was a one-way but with 2 lanes. I was driving in the right-hand lane, minding my own business, following the speed limit. All of a sudden, I see this beat the fuck up, dilapidated van. That's like this off-shade burgundy color. This motherfucker had the fucking audacity to enter my lane without any precursor, without any warning, and about the first half of his car was in front of me, and then he decided to hit my car and scrape the left side of it. This piece of shit, no horn, no blinker, and in the front half of his car, sped up a little bit and then hit my car. He hit the front, he hit the front left side of my, so he scraped and hit the front left side of my car. We both pull over onto the right-hand side, onto the right shoulder. And this disheveled, peasant-looking motherfucker has the audacity to say, "You shouldn't have entered from the right-hand shoulder into the right-hand lane when I was in the right-hand lane." First of all, I was trying to be totally amicable and cordial and polite about the whole situation. Because as soon as I saw what this guy looked like, I pitied him from the get-go. I pitied the fuck out of this guy. So essentially, the look on this guy, he mirrored exactly the car that he was driving. Like I said before, the car that he was driving, it was a dilapidated, rusted, beat up, off-shade burgundy color looking van. And this man, he had what? And this man had like frizzled white sparse hair that was coming off of the sides and shit, and it was like shoulder length, unkempt, long white hair. He had the most fucked up looking shoes. They look like offbeat Skechers, like the ones that 60-year-olds wear. He was probably 60, 70, whatever. He was wearing the most ill-fitting blazer or whatnot, or whatever the fuck you call it. He was wearing an untidy shirt and also untidy pants that was like 2 sizes too big, and they were crumpling at the ankles. I pitied this dude from the get-go, so I'm like, you know what? Let me be... Like, internally, I'm saying, yo, this dude, he looks like the exact representation of his car. Beat up, disheveled, dilapidated. Anyway, I tried to be as polite as possible. But what really fucking pissed me off, what made me want to grab his throat and Thanos crunch his Loki fucking neck and vertebrae, was when I heard his side of the story. His side of the story, from what he told the insurance company, was, I was driving out of the exit of a BP gas station, and I was in the right-hand shoulder, not even the right-hand lane. I was in the right-hand shoulder of the two-lane one-way. He was in the right-hand lane, and I hit his car while trying to merge into the right-hand lane. This particular motherfucker has a special place in hell where I intend to do ungodly things to this person. Actually, wait, you know what? No, I take that back. I saw how disheveled he looked. His disheveled appearance probably reflects his lying ass fucking personality, and it probably is a direct representation of how he lives and what his living conditions are. So you know what? I will let life deal with him accordingly. If he's that much of a fucking and the the cherry on top, probably why he lied about it. It wasn't his car that he was driving. He was driving someone else's fucking car, and he was from New York. So you know, I will just let karma do its thing. His outer appearance accurately reflects his personality, and it accurately reflects probably his living conditions and his car, and the car that he was driving, because it wasn't even his in the first place. I will let life take its course, whatever hand he gets dealt with. I will let life take its course. But I'm just fuming, I'm just venting, because this is an episode of driving pet peeves that I have. And that was just the kicker on the cherry on top of the fucking sundae. Yep. Just eating spoonfuls, just so yeah. Anyway. that's all for this episode. I hope you enjoy. I hope you enjoyed it. Don't forget to give this video a big thumbs up. Hit that subscribe button. Ring that notification bell so you know exactly when I post another video. And let me know in the comments below, what are your personal driving pet peeves and how you feel about them. And who knows, maybe we'll have similar pet peeves. And yeah, anyway, that's all for today. I'll see you in the next video. Peace!